X!
Jenna.
So, what is this?
This is the Ninja Diaries.
Ninja Diaries?
Yeah.
Another episode? Yeah. Oh shit! You did it!
In the stillness somewhere above the city lights, you're falling in love.
So I think the current best teams in the world, I'm not going to mention any names, don't want to be biased or anything, but I think the main thing that they do is they minimize mistakes a lot. They don't have people dying early, they don't die in rotations very often at all, so they keep a lot of people alive towards the end, which is a very needed thing in PUBG. If you're down on numbers towards the end, it's so hard to trade and you're most likely going to lose the game. And even if they don't have the numbers, they're very experienced in staying alive alone, snaking, I guess, and getting a good placement from there. That's the main thing I see in the good teams. And also they don't take any risks. They play with info, and if they see that an area is clear, maybe closer towards the center of the circle, they'll go there and they'll take it.
My name's X. I'm a Norwegian player for Ninjas in Pyjamas. I'd say my role in the team is kind of like the floater, like I float around a lot. We have our primary shooters in Borg and Ollie, and specifically like snipers and stuff, so it's important to make sure that we don't get anything like coming up on our flanks. And that's usually what me and Sweater will be doing. So yeah, I'd say I'm kind of a floater, if anything.
My name is Borg. I play PUBG for the NIP PUBG team. I got into PUBG after X kind of forced me into it. I wasn't too sure about it because it was a new game, new BR. I didn't try the beta, so yeah, X kind of forced me to buy it.
I got into PUBG and competitive gaming. I think it started with competitive Call of Duty for a couple years during high school. I took a little hiatus, came back, managed to play H1Z1 professionally for Cloud9. And then I transitioned what I learned from H1Z1 into PUBG and eventually got picked up by NIP. Our performance in online leagues have been, I think the giant word that comes to me is inconsistent. One week we'll be doing great, another week we'll come in and we'll start off with a very good attitude. We'll go in there hot, and I feel like if the first or second map don't go our way, we kind of snowball into something not very good. So yeah, I just think we need to become a lot more consistent, that's for sure.
Our online results recently, since Ollie joined, hasn't been too good, but we're improving every day and we're getting close to being one of the top 3 teams, in my opinion.
So we've been boot camping for a few weeks now. Maybe not so much boot camping as a regular boot camp. We're kind of all living here at the moment while we're trying to find apartments. But there's a lot of tournaments and stuff coming up for us. So the next few weeks are going to be pretty busy, a lot of practice. Me personally, I have a bit of rust to get rid of because I was back in Poland for a week emptying my apartment. So it's just going to be a lot of grinding and getting into all of these tournaments coming up. That's going to be the main focus. There's a major tournament coming up this summer. It's going to be the first major for PUBG. And I think, for me at least, it overshadows all previous tournaments. And to not be there would be heartbreaking, honestly. So we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna do my very best, practice hard to get there, and then hopefully have a good showing at the major. It's gonna be good to play third person again as well at a tournament. I've been missing that.
You haven't seen us at many offline events because it's taken a while for this team to actually ramp up. We've taken a while to actually learn the meta, get accustomed to the meta. We're still working on that. However, right now, we feel like we are the most accustomed to the meta. But unfortunately, a lot of opportunities have fallen through for us. We haven't been getting many closed qualifier invites, not many tournament invites. When we do play for a tournament, we get thrown the opens, often find cheaters in there. And Most recently, the safe zones have bugged. It's not the biggest excuse in the world to be falling out of qualifiers, but it's really weird boot camping for a couple weeks, getting introduced into an entirely new game-breaking meta in the sense that the safe zones are being a lot harsher and a lot more severe. And yeah, we made it pretty far in our DreamHack Austin qualifiers. Made it to the very end pretty much, and it just fell short. But we'll get there.
We've had a shaky transition going from the roster change. Like our results haven't been quite up to par. Like Drew said, we can have one really good week and like be super consistent throughout all games of a series. And then the next week it'll be like the complete opposite. And when it comes to qualifiers, like say the DreamHack one, we had like consistently good results throughout, and it kept getting better from first, second, third. But then in the final one, when it really matters the most, is when we then flipped and went the opposite way. And it's also really hard not having that close qualifier spot, and instead you have to battle through the open series in every single tournament and organize, like every organized event. And it's not really an excuse or a complaint, because it's deserved. Like, I see us as an underdog team. Like, we have to fight from the bottom to get back up, and we just got to put in the work for it.
After our bootcamp now, of course, our focus will be on qualifying for the major.
Our chances of making it to the PUBG major is it's pretty high. It's pretty high, but again, we need to become more consistent. We need to keep people alive, and once we do that, honestly, that's the smallest and biggest gripe I have for the team. We're hitting our shots, we're really good with rotations, we listen to each other, we back each other up. We just need to stay alive and get to the end.
I think tournament organizers could do a better job at listening to the competitive players in the scene when it comes to how we want the circle settings mainly to be, the loot settings. It's getting a lot better, and it's been getting better and better throughout. But I think mainly now with the most drastic change is Bluehole's major tournament this summer, where they're gonna run 20 teams instead of 16, which is a big difference to what we've been practicing and playing for the past 8 months or so. So they could have done a better job at that, maybe gave us a reason why, something along those lines, so we could at least understand, you know, what their thought process is behind it.
What is needed from the team to become the best? Honestly, we have the shots, we have the brains. I think we're too aggro at times. I think we lose people when it's unnecessary to lose people. You need to be able to have those players towards the end game to actually, it's like, if anyone watches Super Smash Brothers, like esports, like you need to have those stock lives at the end. You need to be able to have people to trade. So when you're losing people unnecessarily, that's one less person you have to trade a life with. So honestly, we just need to stay alive, keep people up until the end, trade properly, and get the wins.
What's next for the PUBG team is we're looking at new living areas. So we're going to be splitting up 2 and 2. It's going to be young boy Drew and me, the oldest. We're going to be living together, and then Ollie and Borg are going to be living together. The location is still yet unknown, but we're hoping to find something pretty short, because we don't, I mean, we like staying at the HQ obviously, but you know, we don't want to overstay our welcome. And then our primary focus above all else is the major coming up.
Bra. Jag var nöjd.
Nice.
Always